Okay, so today topic is about how do you read data from PDF, and let's even see how do we reuse the bots by sharing the dependencies. So let's take the first project where we have been reading the data from the PDF. So this is the PDF which I've been reading. So the use case is about creation of the sales order. So the data is available in the PDF, and I have another project where I would read the data from the where I would consume the data from the PDF and enter all the details in sales order transaction, which is nothing but VA01. So the first project is about how do we read the data from the PDF. This is a PDF. We'll even see how do we read the data from these fields and also from the table. So I think I would only concentrate on the main activities, like how do we get the text from the fields. So opening the PDF where you provide a PDF path, and then getting the sales organization. So you have a activity known as get text after. So the get text after activity. So I'll just drag and drop, but I'll not save it so that we can. So I would use the search string. So the search string which I want to use is ordered type, and I want to read the value after this order type. And if you see the number of words here, it is one or two. Suppose if there is ABC mentioned twice, it would read it twice. So the occurrence here is only one. So I would put it as only one here. So if we go to the sales organization, you can see that search string is sales organization and number of words is 1. So the same goes for all the fields. Order type, sales organization, distribution channel, division, PO and sold to party. So now so it's the same activity which is used till all those things. So now how do we read the data from the table? So if you can see, first we have to find out this item, where exactly it's located, and we have to provide the start and end here. So my column, let's take the activity which you have to use here is get table entries. So get table column entries. So for which column you exactly want to read the data in the table. So you have to mention the column name here. So the column name would be mentioned, and the text below the column. So what is the text below the table? Is it a date? And the offset has to be provided. So left offset and right offset for this activity has to be provided. So that generally will be calculated. And the output parameter is a list of the strings which you would get it. If I get to the table column entries, I'll just take one of them. So the column header is storage. I have storage location here. Okay. And text below this is date. So I mentioned the date here. And then where do I store the data? I provided the output parameter. And you would get list of strings in this. And I even retrieve the date. So date is just a text field. So I can use a method activity get text after activity and get the values from this. Okay. And now when I want to consume this data, so what I have done is I have created a data type, sales order data type, because this data has to be consumed in my other project where I use it in the GUI automation, where I have to consume this data in the sales order transaction. So I want to make it in a usable format. So I created a data type with all the required fields, and it's an object, and all the fields of order type, sales organization are maintained as string, and the items, which is nothing but the items in the table, are maintained as list. So it would be list of strings which is maintained there. So I go back to the automation. So I have a custom script here, because when you read the data directly from the get table entries in a particular column, you get it in a different format. But I want it in a usable format as an array and without spaces. So that's the reason I have written a custom script where I would remove all the spaces, and if you can see, for each column I have removed all the spaces. So the input parameters for this method was material column, quantity column, storage column. So all the output from the three activities get table entries from material and storage column, order quantity. So those would be the input parameters here, and those parameters will be used here, and we'll use a loop and remove the empty spaces in that. Okay, when I execute it, I'll show where exactly you would get the empty spaces and what exactly do we do in the custom script. So when you see the output of the custom script, you will have an idea on what exactly, where exactly the spaces have been removed. And after that, I create a data type of create sales order. So you can see this activity in data. Since I've created data type of sales order details, so you can see that data in sales order. So I can just drag and drop this activity. So when you click on edit activity, so it gives all the variables that you have maintained in the data type. So you can map it to the previous steps which exactly you would require. So order type, I have it in my first step. So it would be sales order thing. If you see, I think it's step 0 dot, 1 second. So if you see in the edit activity, so the order type. So where do I get this order type? It is in the third step, order type. So we create a variable and map all the data which we have retrieved in this automation. And we even have an items list. So how do we get this items list here? We have an items which is an array of strings, I would say, and this would be mapped to the custom script. What is the output value which is maintained, that would be mapped here. Since I want to push, even want to show you the activity add all. So in add all, what do I do is the array which is created in the sales order data type and the array which is output parameter of custom script, I have added both of them. So if you see the add all activity, so I have added concatenated two arrays. So I want to push the array which is an output parameter of custom script to the sales order here. Okay, so I would just execute this. I'll close this and now I would execute it. Okay, let me refresh. Faster execution. Okay, so one of the activities get text after. So if you have sales organization and colon, so the output value is 001. So if I open the PDF, so sales organization, so it is 001 here. Okay. And it's the same for order type, all the variables. So in the tester data, you would see all the values. So now let's go to the table entries here. If you see here, the output parameters, so I have it with 0 and then all these things. Some spaces have also been included. So I want to even remove these empty spaces. So if I get to the custom script, so output parameters for the column entries of material or so and so, the H1W, and this is for the quantity. So if you see here, right, you have got spaces in between. So you have to remove these empty spaces. So 10, 0. So I would remove all these spaces in the custom script. So see the tester data. So finally I would have an items here. And I would remove the spaces and each item will have 0, 1, 2, 3 with the corresponding row data. So I would remove the spaces and also put each array item, line item with the corresponding material, order quantity and storage location. So earlier when you retrieve the data, you have it only in the column wise, but I want to format it in such a way that the list has each entry, each line item has material, order quantity and storage location. So that's how the custom script is doing, removing the spaces and also forming it in an array line item. So now you have all the details and also the items here. Okay, and in add all, if you see both the items are concatenated and it's pushed in sales order details here. So this is the way how we read the data from the PDF. And coming to the GUI automation, I think most of you are already familiar, so I will not go into detailed steps of the GUI automation, but I want to show you one step here which is mostly useful in unattended modes. I know most of us have been using how do we start the application for GUI transactions. We generally click on start application, we record a screen for the logon pad, and then we enter a client credentials. All these three steps, I would say start application, logon pad and client credentials are entered. But there may be scenarios in unattended mode where sometimes you click on the client ID, it may or may not work. And most of us know in unattended mode, it's always advisable that to have a minimal of click events. So you can even use a custom script here. This is, I would advise to use this only in unattended modes because it's no code and low code. So it's always advisable to use the activities. So with the custom script here, you can, okay, I have reused it. So let me directly go to the custom script login. So you can use a shell command here, execute your logon, which would open your logon pad where you enter the credentials, everything. So I just hard coded here, but you can add it as a parameters or environmental variables and then consume those parameters in your custom script. Okay. So this is a one line of code which you can use it in unattended mode, and it is one of the best practice, especially when you execute your GUI transactions in unattended mode. Okay. So now let's go to the third concept where I would show you how do we reuse the bots. So I have two bots here. One is the project where I have where we are reading the PDF, and the second project is where we have recorded the screens of sales order. So if I go to my applications, I have my screen recording of the transactions of logon transaction and how do I create the sales order. So all these are recorded in the GUI automation. So I have two projects. So I want to reuse these projects now. So how do we share your projects? So let's go. So before you share your project, you have to generate a package for this. So I generate a package. So these generated packages can be shared and can be used as dependencies in the other projects. So a package is generated. Now let's go back to the tenant. It was my GUI automation. So okay, so I click on this and share it. So I shared with anyone usable as a dependency. So you have to share the option usable as a dependency. So when you share this as usable dependency, you can share it with anyone. You can use authorizations. I would use read or edit or everything. So I would use read authorization. I don't want anyone to change my project when you're sharing it. So I share it. And my read sales order, this also has to be shared. So I've shared GUI automation. I've already created a package for that. So if I go to packages, so I've already shared it. You can anyone and then read it. So we have generated packages for both of our projects, and now we try to reuse these projects. So let me try to create a new project. You can create in this existing one also, but I'll just create a new project. Just you share dependencies. So I come to dependencies, manage dependencies, and whenever you share the projects, what happens is sometimes there may be scenarios where you would have created your previous package with a different agent, and the current project will be with a different agent. So when there is an incompatible version, so you have to go to configure version and change your project with the corresponding agent version. Okay. So now we have created both the projects with the 2.10 version, so we need not configure the agent version. Otherwise, it's at you would get an error where you can't add a dependency. You can configure the agent version. So I go to the dependencies, add as dependency, select the package. So I want two packages now. One is the GUI automation, add it. So if you don't share your project, you can't see it in the drop down list here. So I have read PDF sales order. So I have added both the dependencies. So I create an automation. Okay. So now you can see it in your automations. So if you see here, we have this GUI and PDF automation here and sales order. So now first thing is we want to read the PDF data. Okay. So if you go see in your project, read PDF is the one. So I would read the data, PDF data, and sales order is the one where I have used for the start application in general way how we do it, and the sales order copy. I just created duplicate of this and the custom script logon. So let me show the automation, consume the automation which has the custom script logon. So I'll come to the project. So I'll use a sales order copy only. So now the read data PDF. So this data has to be mapped to the sales order data. So the data which is output of this DDF data should be mapped to this. So sales organization. So it is the first step of this. So if you see here, right, in variables, you have sales order details. So the order type has to be mapped. So all the mapping has to be done. So, okay, sorry, it was a sales organization. 1 second. Sales org, so distribution channel, and then the PO number, order type, sold to party, and then the items. Okay, so now we have consumed this automations. Let's close it, and even I've closed my PDF, and now let's test the automation. So you can see now the SAP logon pad is opening. It will check the ID. The transaction is created and opens this sales order transaction. It enters all the materials, order quantity. So the standard order is created. So we have seen how do we read the data from PDF. We have seen the custom script, how do we use for custom for SAP GUI logon, especially for unattended mode. And the third concept which we have learned now today is how do we reuse the projects by sharing the dependencies.